Bro, you're the nicest UFC fighter in the world, dude.
Shout out Basement Talk, man.
I'm gonna bite at least 2 of your ears off.
I make more than $1 million in a day sometimes.
You better.
That's always scary if you don't press it. Alrighty. It's time, baby.
It's time. Ready to. All right, guys, welcome back to Basement Talk. Today we have a special guest in the house, Emmanueli.
Just butchers it right away.
I'm sorry.
Why'd you say it so scared, bro?
Because before we were filming, I was trying to get it right. Yeah. So I just wanted it to be perfect, but
Manny
for sure. But thank you so much for coming on Basement Talk. You got a big fight coming up. Yeah. And what are you doing to prepare? How are you like doing everything day to day?
I'm just training my balls off. Just living life. I go to Kings, go to practice there. Train Master Rafael Cordero. He's a beast. He's best in the game. Practices there are brutal. Then I do strength and conditioning, jiu-jitsu. I'm just training all day, every day, just as much as I possibly can. I was training before this, because I knew. And then after this, I'm going to go train again.
Tonight?
Tonight. I'm gonna do some type of strength and conditioning or swimming or something like that. And that's just, and then studying, meditating, visualizing, looking at my game, how I can get better. Every day I'm just trying to get better, That's pretty much how I get prepared for these fights.
What nationality are you?
I'm West African from Togo.
Awesome.
Yeah, a country in
Togo?
West Africa called Togo. So it's like the California of Africa. It's just like right on the west coast there. It's a little small country, but
like beach town?
Beach town, yeah,
what
exactly.
Type of food is out there?
West African food is like real spicy, like a lot of fish, stuff like that, chicken, beef, just different like stews and stuff, fufu. You guys probably don't know none of this shit.
I don't know what fufu is.
Yeah, it's fucking fire.
Do you guys have like that type of food out here, or does your family know how to cook it?
Oh yeah, I mean I'll cook it. Yeah, my family can cook it. But out here, no, there's not. There's like maybe one spot in LA, but there's not many people who know like how to cook it.
Do you guys have a bunch of fighters?
Nah, I'm the only fighter. Like for example, when I was in LFA, I'm the only fighter ever from Togo in LFA.
Wow.
UFC's never had a Togolese fighter. PFL's never had a Togolese fighter. Where I'm from, there's actually no MMA fighters. So there's wrestling's a national sport, but the wrestling we do there is different than the wrestling here. But I'm the only fighter from Togo. So I want to when I'm out there training and stuff, I'm like, I gotta get it, gotta do it because for my home country as well. You know what I'm saying? Like it'd be sick to win a world championship and go back to my country and just like show that So that's like one of my motivating like factors as well.
For sure. Yeah. How old were you when you moved out here?
When I moved to America, I was like 4 or 5 years old.
And was it here? Or?
No, I moved to St. Louis. I moved to New York, and then I moved to St. Louis later on. But I lived most of my life in St. Louis.
How old were you?
Yeah. When I moved to New York, I was 4 or 5 years old. 4 or 5. Lived there for like 3 years. Then moved to St. Louis, and I lived there most of my life. And that's when I got in MMA out in St. Louis. And St. Louis is like Midwest, it's just like it's a fight town for sure. I lived in St. Louis City. I lived in the hood, you know what I'm saying? And I was getting into fights like left and right because I was an African kid.
Yeah, was that a culture shock?
Culture shock. For me, nah, not really, because I was a little kid. You don't really know the difference, you know what I'm saying? But when it was kind of weird because like at home, right, we'd be speaking Ewe, eating different food, different things. We go out to different African events. That's just how we are. But then you go out to like school and it's a different culture. So you have a little bit of both. And then we're at the time, you know what I'm saying, the culture is just completely different. So like my parents would be like, here, just wear the same thing 2 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? Because we didn't have like a bunch of money and stuff like that. So like, hey, wear the same thing 2 days in a row. And then kids would be like joning on me. That's what we call it in St. Louis. They'd be like, this me, it would be joning. Cool. And then I'd have to get into a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was like a regular occurrence. So over time, I just kept getting into fights. And then in my neighborhood, we would just like box in the streets, you know, all the time. And then later on, what were you gonna say?
No, dude, I was gonna say, because sorry to cut you off on that, but I saw your most popular video on YouTube was a street fight KO.
Yeah,
was that in St. Louis?
That was in St. Louis, but that was in O'Fallon. So I lived in St. Louis, St. Anne. That's like one at the time when I was living there. It was the number one most dangerous place in America to live. Wow. Yeah, and then like, you know, my mom has a beauty supply out there, different businesses. You know, right across the street, like broad daylight, the dirt cheap. It got like robbed in broad daylight. It was crazy. That was like when I was a kid. It would just always be some type of craziness going on in St. Louis. So that's St. Louis is a very dangerous place. Once my family got their money up and their business started doing better and stuff like that, then we moved to the suburbs, and that's called O'Fallon. So it's like a nicer area, super safe. It's like one of the safest places in America. So it's like complete different, you know, but it's just like 30 minutes outside of St. Louis.
Where you were.
Yeah, and that's where I knocked that dude out. So like when I went,
what led up to that?
That was like, you know, I don't want any problems. I just want to hang out. I just want to chill, you know, especially back in those days, it was super quiet. So I was just chilling at a party, right, with my buddies, and this kid, he's like, you know what? Let me try to fight this guy and get a name off of him, build my name off of him type shit. You know, like he's a
like
nice
in
guy.
a street fight type of thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like came up to me. He's like, hey, let's have a fight, because also we would just fight. You know, that's like there's nothing else to do, so we'd have street fights. Around that time, that was when Never Back Down was like popular and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's just what we would do. So I was like, at the party, I was just like, all right, whatever, we could fight. I didn't think nothing of it. Next day I'm at home. The dude shows up to my place with like 3 different guys, and they're gonna like, all right, we're gonna fight now or what? So I was like, all right, whatever, we can fight. So but at that time, I think I was like 16, 15 in that video. I was training every single day. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna ask you that.
I was in the basement. basement podcast.
Yeah.
I was literally in the basement watching every single fight, playing UFC 1 or UFC 2, whatever video game, shadow boxing. I didn't know how to train. I didn't know, but I was just like,
you were zoned. You were
zoning
out.
I was just figuring out.
You wanted to fight.
Yeah, I wanted to fight. I wanted to be a fighter.
He was waiting for someone to knock on his door and ask him to fight.
Yeah, literally. And so I was training, you know, and so dude popped up, and I was like, all right, let's do it. And I just, you know, think he was like, I threw some jabs, and he came at me real aggressive. I like slipped some punches, and I just threw like an overhand, and he just knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? And it was actually scary, because after I knocked him out, he was like, he was like, oh, what happened? Over, like his memory was just like gone.
That's the worst.
And he just kept like over. It was like an hour. Shit. He's like, what happened? And then we dropped him off with his parents. I felt super bad, but also that was his fault, because he came there.
You dropped him off?
No, my the other guys he came with dropped him off. I had to go with him, you know, because I'm not just gonna leave him there, you know. So
it looked like a professional street fight though, because you guys had gloves on.
Oh yeah, no, we had gloves. Like, no, that's what we would do. Like literally, that's what every single weekend we would fight. You know, there's nothing else to do. So like the way I even got into fighting MMA, I didn't know nothing about MMA. Didn't know. I actually, when I saw MMA, I was like, these dudes are crazy. I would never do that in a million years. You know, and I think his first fight I saw was Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, and I was like, nah, these guys are crazy. But then one day, you know, this dude, this kid was like a junior, but he was like a second, or he took second in state, really good wrestler. And I was in 8th grade and going into high school, and that was in summer school or something. And this kid was like, oh, you won't fight me, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, I'll fight anybody. You know, I'm not scared of anybody. I grew up fighting my whole life, you know, fighting my older brother, fighting his friends, you know, so it was just regular stuff to me. I didn't know there was actually technique like that. So whenever I showed up, the whole school's there. We put the gloves on, you know, and I got my ass whooped. I got taken down. You know, I got ground and pounded. You know, I knew nothing about wrestling. I got my ass beat. And I got up, I was like, all right, let's do it again. And then got taken down again. Actually, there's the video is somewhere. I want that video bad. I want that video badly, but I don't know.
If you find it, we'll put it right here.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. And then I got taken. And then I said, all right, let's do it again. It's 3 times. And then got taken out again. Got my ass whooped. Then when I got up, I was like, I'm gonna learn this shit. And then when that day I got home, laid in bed, my head was all throbbing and shit, just laid in the dark, and I've been obsessed with MMA ever since. And that's why, like right now, I'm coming off a couple losses, but some people counting me out, talking shit, whatever. They don't understand, like, this is regular shit for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck about a loss. Like,
that's how you got started.
Yeah, that's how I got started. I've been getting my ass beat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been getting my ass beat my entire life. So this is regular shit for me. It's part of my process, So this next fight, is a comeback fight for me. And one of my buddies actually was like, oh, you lost some fights. Like, oh, I guess it's time to wrap it up, right? Nah, I'm gonna be here for a while. I don't care if I lost 8 fights in a row. For me, this is like, I have a vision, I have a goal. It's not about, obviously I want to be like undefeated and have like a Mayweather type of career, but it doesn't matter. Now I even like it more so because whenever I do win a belt, I could look back on when I got fucking dropped those 2 fights. You know what I'm saying? And I had to fucking really grind it out and really like stay focused and keep the vision and persevere.
How did you get so mentally tough? How did you train yourself to just think like, okay, I'm gonna block everyone out, and I'm gonna come back after these 2 fights? Because I'm sure you were really upset when you lost.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. It's devastating. The people don't understand. Like, when a fighter loses a fight, it's devastating.
It's his
real
livelihood.
devastating. Yeah. And for me, I just been getting my ass beat the whole time. Anybody who knows me for real, like my first ever fight camp, like with real fighters back in Missouri, Professor Steve in Missouri, we had a little crew. Steve is a big country Midwest dude who's a beast fighter, crazy good fighter, but people don't know who he is. This guy is a fucking beast. And it would just be me and him sparring. Everybody's scared to spar this guy. Be me and him sparring every day. Get my ass whooped. But I'm like, all right, I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? And it's just part of my process. I grew up, me and my brother be fighting. He'd be bigger than me, stronger than me. So I would lose, but sometimes I'd win, We would go with his friends, right? They'd be whooping my ass because I'm a small, skinny kid, right? But over time, I can whoop all their asses now. You know what I'm saying?
Tell us about like your street fights going into like your amateur fights.
Yeah.
When did that start? Because you started kicking ass in amateur because you have to go pro.
Yeah,
So tell us about like your jump from in the street fighting to like going into proper cages and fighting in the amateur league.
Yeah. So basically my like backyard, like you ever see on YouTube or
the backyard
Instagram,
fights?
The backyard fights?
Those are
bro.
insane.
We've been doing that stuff. We
Like
were doing
street,
that.
like
Wait.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you actually have a cage though? Like
No,
that?
we were just backyard grass. You can look it up. O'Fallon FC. You'll probably see some of the videos on there. They're still on the internet, and we would just literally.
We grew up loving
We would
street
just
beefs.
literally just fight.
It's called street beefs. Yeah.
Yeah, street beefs, bro. We were doing that back in 2010. We were doing that in 2008. We've
Holy
been
shit.
doing
That's like
that,
when I
bro.
got into like MMA and stuff. It's like
And
street
we
beef.
were doing that, like, we didn't know what we were doing. Some of the fights you'll see, like, some guy has no gloves on, one guy has gloves on, and we're just beating, each other's ass, But basically, so that was every weekend we would do that. And we would train, like, in the backyard. And, I just had fights. I'd watch BJ Penn, and I just see what he's doing and, like, start learning about jiu-jitsu. I would start going to jiu-jitsu gym. I started wrestling because I knew I was going to be a fighter. And so that was just every day for me. And then as soon as I graduated high school, I knew I was going to be a fighter. I told my dad I was going to be a fighter. He's like, you can't do that. Because where we're from, that's not like really a thing. Nobody ever fights. You know what I'm saying? It's not really.
Not a profession.
It's so far like in a different field. People in my bloodline have fought before, but they're like warriors though. They weren't like
fighting for the country, not for like a profession.
Yeah, they're not fighting for like, you know what I'm saying, prize fighting. So it was very different. And when I graduated high school, I was like, all right, I just got a job at Walmart just so I can get money to start training, And then I got my car, I started going up to Gracie Baja in St. Louis, and I met Professor Mike Buckles, started training with him every single day, and Professor Steve. And then from there, I had a plan. I was like, all right, I'm gonna wait until I become a purple belt, and then I'm gonna have my first real amateur fight. And I was just doing jiu-jitsu tournaments every week because I studied the game. I saw all the top fighters, like they all had like a specific like there's a path to success. John Jones, he wrestled, and then he had all these competitions in wrestling, which basically are fights. And then so when you go in there, he knows how to compete, and then he's gonna be able to win. GSP didn't have that background, but you can figure it out. You know, like pretty much every top fighter has had like a competition background almost, you know? And then there's guys like Francis Ngannou, GSP, who didn't have that background, but if you really want it, your desire can like get you very far, you know? So I was doing jiu-jitsu tournaments every month. Was traveling all over America, and I was doing really good because it's my whole life. I was just train twice a day, go to bed, train, you know, that's it, compete. And I was winning all this stuff, doing super good. And then, you know, fast forward, it was like 3 years. And then I had my first fight against Gabe Rodriguez in Iowa. And Gabe was he was like knocking people out. He was a really good fighter. His brother was a champion in cage aggression. And, you know, he was like a really, really good fighter over there at the time. And so I came in 0-0, but, you know, I was like fully prepared. And we had a crazy hard fight camp. And I went in there and just dominated him. So it looked like when people saw me for that first fight, it's like, damn, I had skills, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like I was just some regular amateur fighter. And then after that fight, when I moved, and I was like, all right, I want to take it seriously. I want to really do this. So I moved to California. $200. I had like what, $250.
Damn.
You know, nothing I told my
How
parents.
old were you?
Like, I was like 20. I think I was like 23.
23,
yeah.
$200.
To add $250.
And a dream.
Yeah, literally $250. Packed up my Hyundai Santa Fe. Literally drove to California. Took like 2 days. When I got to California, I had zero because I had to spend money on the gas. I didn't have nothing when I got to California. And but that whole way through, I was just riding. I was like listening to Lil Skies. He had it's like when he first came out.
Nowadays,
like 2017.
2017 first came out. He had like this like album that was just all about the grind basically. And I was just listening to that, and I was just like riding through America. And I was just like, damn, I'm really doing it. Like, because it was very like uncertain. I was just like I'm really like diving in. I'm really going for my dreams right now, you know. Regardless of whatever happens, I'm gonna do it. So popped here, and then as soon as I got here, you know, I already had my place like situated there, but I had zero money, so I had to like instantly. I was like on DoorDash, Postmates, and I was just grinding all day. And then I just figured out where I wanted to train. You know, started training, then started trying to line up amateur fights. And I had like 8 fights fall out, you know, like day of the fight, week before the fight.
What's that feeling like?
Amateur. It was just like, damn, you know, I really worked really, really hard. And I really want to get this going, get my amateur fights up so then I can go pro. And then it's just a shitty feeling, you know, like you work super hard. One of the fights, I was doing DoorDash. And you know, I got like attacked by a dog, you know, like the week, or it was like the week of the fight.
Oh, doing DoorDash?
Doing DoorDash, yeah, and in Laguna Beach. And but I still was gonna fight, but the dude pulled out. And then after that one, I was like, nah, I gotta go pro. You know, so I was like, I wasn't sure if I could do it. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I could even do it because I only had the one amateur fight, but I was like, I have to make a move. I got to make a change. And
what
I was looking
determines that though? Who your coach or does the league? Like, was it the LFA?
No, LFU. It's very rare people go pro and get in fight in LFA right off the bat. No, it's just basically whenever you're ready. Like usually, like if you have a coach, your coach would be like, yeah, all right, you're ready to go pro. But when I moved to California, I didn't have relationships like that. It was just me, you know. So just me managing myself, me doing everything. So it was just like I had to make the decision, like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, you know. So I was like, all right, you know, I'm out of pussy. I'm just gonna go pro. Fuck it. Chuck Liddell didn't have no amateur fights, you know. All the old school guys didn't have amateur fights. They just went in there, you know. So I was like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. It's been done before, so why not? And then I did it. I was over there training in Huntington Beach, and you know, training with some real tough guys. Liam McGeary, you know, I was helping him with his camp, and that was around the time I was making my pro debut. And went in there. I had a fight with this guy named Gordy, and he's a tough guy. He had like a few fights, bunch of knockouts. And, you know, I just went in there, used my jiu-jitsu, took him down, and ground and pounded him, just mauled him, you know. Every single round was like 10-8 rounds every round. and that was the start of my pro career.
Wow.
Hey
guys, I want to say real quickly, be careful what you say to your DoorDasher. He might kick your ass.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I like
Seriously,
that.
especially out here in Newport, because like actually just last night I almost got into a fight with this dude. One of my buddies hit me up. He's like, he wanted me to like do some security for him, right? Some like private security. So I'll do some. I like back when I came out here, I was hustling hard, you know. So
Yeah.
you know, so I do some security, this and that. So I was like, I'm not doing nothing tonight. All right, I can make a few $100 tonight. All right, no problem. Just like easy security gig. All right, cool. So
Was it Newport?
In Newport, yeah.
Like the bars, or
Yeah, like we were going to Whaler, going to like where did we go? Went to some of the Pandry. Went to some other spot. What was it? The first spot, Joey Newport Beach. So we're just over there. Basically, this guy, like the guy that I'm supposed to be protecting, whatever, being his bodyguard, he's drunk out of his ass. Whatever, that's no issue. There's his friend that was like just some weirdo fat dude. Like he had like curls and stuff. He was just saying little slick shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
To you?
Yeah, to me. He was like, no, not to me. He was saying it around me. You know what I'm saying? But one of my buddies heard it and told me. And he was like saying some shit like trying to like demean me almost. Like, this is your security guard. What's he doing? Why is he over there? You know, why is he like? And I was like, so I walked up to him, I was like, hey, you know, I heard what you said. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, my dad boxed, blah, blah. I'm like, hey, I'll fucking strangle. Because I was like, hey, man, don't ever get it twisted.
My
like,
dad box. My dad box. That's not gonna help you, dude.
Yeah,
Be careful. He might call his dad.
I was like, bro, don't ever in your life, because a lot of these like Newport guys, like especially these older dudes, they have money, whatever. They've never been in a fight before, and they think they could just talk crazy at people.
They have
And I
more
was
ego than skill.
Yeah, egos like. I was like, bro, I'll beat the fucking shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day,
No.
I'm a man. Don't fucking say no stupid shit to me.
Yeah.
Right? And then then there was another time I was with my girl, and then one of her girlfriends, her boyfriend or husband or something like that, was like some rich dude. First time I ever met this guy in my life. Never seen this guy. I'm like, if I go to meet you, everything's cool. I'm gonna always show everybody respect. This dude came up to me and he was like, first off, I felt like he was looking at my girl a little weird. Maybe I'm a little weird. I don't know. But that's the feeling I got. So that's already a strike right there. Then he came up to me. He's like, hey, what's up, bud? And that shit drives me crazy. That shit drives
Buddy,
me crazy. Yeah.
pal, champ. I hate all that shit.
Yeah.
I know exactly
It's
what you're
like-
talking about.
It's like, so I was like, all right, bud. And I was like, and then I was just like, I was trying to
Buddy
just
me?
be calm, you know, because it was like, because the thing is, they're expecting me to like, I'm a big black dude, right? So I'm in Newport around all these like super rich people. So if I just go ape shit on this guy, especially because you guys understand it, he called me bud. But if I go ape shit, they're gonna be like, oh, he's
From the
he's
outside
crazy.
perspective, it's what they're expecting.
He's crazy. But this guy fucking disrespected me. You know what I'm saying? And he knows what the fuck he did. But just shit like that, drives me crazy.
You should never talk shit or do anything in public like that. Especially like this guy last night, he had no idea you're a pro fighter.
Yeah. No, he did know. But
he knew.
No, he knew. Yeah, he knew. But I think
He's just walking the line, dude.
yeah,
he's trying to see how far he can
getting
get.
off. He was getting off on some type of he's not really gonna punch me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But no, I might. I literally might. You never know, bro. I literally might
it's
punch
fact.
you.
People
It's
think
like-
they can say anything.
Have you seen that
nowadays,
video
man.
of Mike Tyson on the plane that came out like a year ago or
Yeah, I
whatever?
remember
The
that.
guy's like joking around with him. It's
Yeah.
like at a certain point, he's not just like famous Mike Tyson. He's a boxer. He'll
Yeah,
beat
yeah.
the fuck out of you
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of thing.
And not even that. He's a fucking street kid from Brownsville who was doing.
He was in
who
juvie,
was,
all kinds of
who was
shit,
like
yeah.
a hardcore dude. You know what I'm saying? This is the type of guy you're messing with. Like, so that's like what happens all the time. Just like stupid shit that people do, especially in Newport, and you're at clubs or whatever, because they don't have that. Me personally, I don't want to fight anybody because I don't know. Like even the fat dude, I don't know what he knows. You know what I'm saying?
It's
I'm
just more
probably gonna
drama
be
for
his
you,
ass.
too.
You know what I'm probably gonna be his ass, but then again, I don't know. I could take an L. I'm not above taking L's like in a street fight. Just because I train like hard every day, anything can happen. You can slip on a banana peel, you get clipped. Anything can happen.
What's the like if you can give advice to like I don't know, like Kyler or something.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Like, what's the best thing to like do in a street fight?
Yeah,
why do
Kyler-
I
What is
hate
the
it?
first
Kyler's
thing?
not. He's never
The
been in a
fuck?
street
No,
fight.
what's like what would you say? Like, what advice would you give for like a street fight? Like if Kyler's fighting like some kid from
Me
Newport.
and Zach ran into each other. He's talking shit.
Yeah.
What do
Yeah.
I do?
I don't like his
what's
long
your
hair.
advice? Like,
Just always try to de-escalate. Try not to get into
Not
a
to
street
get
fight.
in-
Yeah, because
Okay,
but do you go for like
He's
a
in a,
tackle first?
Kyler's at a situation where he has to have his first
has
street
to have
fight
the
right now.
Shut
what is
up,
your
dude.
first
Yeah.
like?
Yeah. If you're in his
piece of
corner,
advice.
if he has to have the fight, I mean, jab cross, push kick, may kick his knees out,
Elbow?
Elbow, eye poke, just really, really try to fuck him up.
You
Is
see
there
him-
anything off limit in a street fight?
Nah, everything goes.
Nuts?
Yeah,
No, you're not kicking the
nuts.
balls?
Everything. Yeah, kick him in the ball. Everything
What?
goes. It's a street
Everything
fight.
goes.
Yeah, it's a street fight. Everything.
Damn.
Goes. They might have a knife. You never know. Like they might try some crazy shit. That's why I always say try to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
But if you get into a street fight, everything goes. Like try to slam them on the concrete. Try to poke their eyes out. Try to bite their ear off. You know what I'm saying? Anything. Like seriously, it's a street fight. Punch them in the
It's
back of
you-
the head.
yeah.
Like.
I've seen Kobe pinch somebody in a street fight.
Pinch him.
I've never pinched.
I actually have seen Kobe slam someone's head on the concrete before. That's a whole story.
Yeah.
He was like 5 years old, dude.
I wasn't-
Jeez.
What? No.
That's a whole.
Yeah, that's a different
whole
story.
Other
So
thing, but.
for you coming to California, like not that much experience training, not knowing anybody out here, how much of an advantage is it for you training at a MMA gym like King's?
Oh, and King's is the best. I've trained at like all these places. King's is the best place by far. And not only it's like a family type of vibe there. So like we beat each other's ass, but however it's with love. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody's there to get better. And that's like I made the most leaps and bounds at King's. Master Rafael Cordero, he's like a really great dude too. In the sport full of scumbags, there's like a few really good dudes, and he's one of them. Like he's not there just to like ride your wave, or he's like there even if you're just a regular guy, not a pro fighter, and you maybe let's say you suck, he's gonna be like, hey, what's up? And like, how's it going? Like he's gonna actually care about you. Lies guys, they just care like if you're bringing them money,
Looking
whatever.
for opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. Like Alfredo Cordero, he's a great dude. So for me, like it reminded me of like when I was back in Missouri. I'm back with like a family type of vibe where I can really like get better. So that's why King's for me is like the best spot.
How hard do you go in sparring?
I mean, we go pretty hard. I mean, we're not trying to like knock each other out, but
Have you ever had someone like really try to hit you hard?
Oh yeah. First time I came out to like when I first moved to California, first gym I was at, there was like some like old dude, like he was probably like 38, right? And he was like just going ape shit trying to knock me out. And at that point I was in ridiculous shape. So me and this dude, we had like, this wasn't at King's, this is at a different gym.
Yeah.
Me and this dude had a brawl right in the middle of the gym, and it was just like everyone cleared out. And it was like I cracked this dude hard in his nose, and his nose was bleeding and stuff. And then other gyms, other sparring sessions. Yeah, we've had hard sparring sessions. I've had like a orbital fracture before from sparring.
Dang.
I've had concussions from sparring. I've gotten dropped before in sparring. I've had like some pretty hard sparring sessions, but it's kind of hard when you say like how hard are you guys going? I don't really know how hard we're going. It's just kind of regular shit to me. I don't know.
It's like the pace that you keep.
Yeah, like we go hard, but I don't know. It's not really like it's just like normal. You know what I'm
All
saying?
sparring is sparring.
Yeah.
Do your parents are fully supportive now?
Oh
of
yeah,
what you're
they're
doing?
all
They
in.
love it.
Yeah, I mean it's been like a good 15, 16 years now. You know what I'm saying?
They
When I-
come.
gotta
Do
get
they
used
watch
to
all
it.
your fights?
yeah, they come out to all my fights. Yeah.
Is your mom all nervous and stuff?
Yeah, she's nervous, but she knows like this is what I've been doing since I
Yeah.
was like a kid. So and like when I first started, she was like, "Oh, you're not gonna do it." But then over time, she sees how much the determination. She's there when I'm training every day, coming home injured. Like I'm coming back for more. She's there when I was like running, 5 a.m. In Missouri, like day in, day out. It's like, oh, okay, this dude's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the people who really, really know me and know like my day in, day out, like how I train, it's like, all right, you can't talk this guy out of
You
it.
do personal training too
Yeah,
on the
training.
daily. So do you personal train people just to get in shape or to fight?
All the above. Yeah, all above. So I train girls to get their ass bigger. I train dudes to fight. Yeah,
He's doing the Lord's work.
Damn. Thank you,
the
bro.
booty program.
Thank you.
You know, all the above. You know, like
Yeah.
it just depends.
Let me know if you need a guy to set up cones or anything. You know, next time.
Set the mats out for the ladies.
I'm there, dude.
You know, so physique. Like I train some super old dudes, you know, who just want to get in shape. Like, so yeah, I love it all. You know, I just love fitness. It's been a passion of mine forever.
If you weren't a fighter, what do you think you would have ended up doing?
If I wasn't a fighter, I would be I'd be doing graphic design, painting, you know, stuff like that, selling art, which I do sell art. But you know, fighting takes up a lot of time. So if I wasn't fighting, I'd be doing that. Like,
What kind of art
business.
do you?
Like abstract art.
Wow.
You know, I do all styles, but I like cubism a lot. Abstract
It's
stuff.
like one
you know.
extreme to another.
Yeah, that's
so
Yeah, I
easy.
mean, that's I've been
super
doing
cool.
art before
That's
I was
awesome.
even fighting. Yeah, for a long time. Like anybody who knows me from like high school or like middle school knows like I was a kid like drawing all day. I'd be like getting in trouble. I would get in trouble, go into in-school suspension, and I'd just sit there drawing all day. You know, that's all I would do. So, and I won some art competitions, made some money from art, sold art. You know, so yeah, that's why I love art a lot. If I wasn't fighting, I would just be drawing, all day,
That's
painting,
crazy.
you know.
It's such like a quiet hobby.
Yeah,
compared
I know.
You know what I mean? That's awesome though.
I was gonna say I saw, dude, the gym closed for you, but then you went to the beach and did the hot chick squat challenge. What was that about, bro?
My question is, where was our invite, bro?
Yeah, I didn't know you
Dude, that's some good riz though. Like I saw that. That was good.
Kinda
respects the riz.
Yeah, I mean, basically, what was that? That was like, I think.
Did you guys see that?
That was
No?
like before COVID. I
saw that.
I went to Huntington. Me and my guy Brad. You know, it was like let's try something. Let's try something different. You know,
Yeah.
Try something different.
And we just went out to the beach and you know, just walked up to chicks and like, hey, we're doing a squat challenge. You know, and then just squatted chicks as many times as we could and. You know, did a bunch of tricks back in the day, like when I was in like high school and different stuff like that. Me and my buddies, there's this thing called like simple pickup back in the day.
What?
Yeah, you ever see that?
no.
Heard of
They were
that.
like a big YouTube channel back in the day, but we would literally just like practice talking to different chicks. Like my first job ever was canvassing, so we like go door to door in Missouri, going door to door. Just they're super racist, dude.
Sketchy.
Yeah, super sketchy with the Confederate flags. They're getting like guns pulled on me and stuff. So, also business wise, it's like a really good skill to have business wise.
Sales.
Just being able to go talk to people.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just did the hot chick squat challenge. Well, for one, it was because he said I wouldn't do it. You know, he said, "Oh, I couldn't get any girls to agree to the squat challenge." And then they all wanted to do the squat challenge.
You
So
like
it was
do you like the girls
it
out
on.
here in Cali?
yeah, my girlfriend's from Cali. So
That's cool.
yeah.
How'd you meet your girl? Tell us about that.
Squat challenge.
It was like back in like 2020, and then basically I was doing like a speech, and she was in the crowd, and basically
You guys locked
actually-
eyes?
actually no, it was like I just hit her up on Instagram afterwards. I actually wasn't.
How'd you
even-
find the Instagram? Like,
It was just weird because she was at the event. I think I was just like looking at the
Like
the-
low
the
key a little
stories.
stock, low key. No.
No, not even because like I wasn't even trying to make her my girlfriend at all.
okay.
You know, I was just like it just kind of happened. It was like because basically she worked for the jiu-jitsu company that I'm like in.
Oh, cool.
So or like the same team. So I was like, oh, cool, you do this, do that, and then I was like just broke up with my ex girl at that time, and I wasn't even thinking about having a girlfriend at all. And then just turned out like we had a lot in common, and then she was super cool, and then we just hit it off, and then she was my girl. That's basically how that happened. But
Does she fight too?
nah, I would never date a fighter. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
never
I
date a
agree
fighter
with
girl.
that.
Yeah, I mean, not because they're not hot or not because they're cool. It's just like, nah, you're too much like me at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want. Like,
Is it too like
you know what I'm saying?
masculine?
Yeah,
or
it's
is it-
masculine,
yeah.
super masculine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, no disrespect. Like some of the girls that I train, like there's some, like I have mad respect for fighter girls, but me personally, I like girly girls. I would
Yeah.
never date like a fighter chick. Like, what do I look like? Like, like my girlfriend's getting her ass beat in a cage fight and she's bleeding and shit, and then like we're at home, and then on top of that, the
That's so
aesthetics
true.
of that, like, you know
That's
what I'm saying?
low-key. I never thought about it that way.
And then on top of that, the aesthetics, like we're at the beach and she has black eyes and shit. People are gonna think I'm beating her ass, right? So it's like there's no winning. With
No,
that.
that's smart.
Yeah,
What
so
the
it's like, I
hell?
would never date a fighter girl, like not because they're not great people, not because they're not cool. It's just for me personally, I like girly girls, you know.
Yeah.
Like my girl is super feminine. She's super sweet, you know. She would never. She knows martial arts. Like she's a black belt in like a different martial art, and I train her all the time. Cool. But you know, as far as like really actually fighting and throwing down, like nah. Like if I were to get into like a brawl or something, she would be there, and she would like if I was like needing help, she would jump in, you know. But I would never want her to like jump in, you know.
Nobody wants their girl to jump in a fight for them.
Any like girl advice for like Kyler? Is
Dude,
that?
what the?
I'm trying.
I
to
need
I think
street
honestly,
fight
I
advice,
think he's
girl
projecting. I think
advice.
he wants girl advice.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's fine. Give me it, man. I need it, dude. Shit, dude.
No, but for real, when was like when did the LFA call? Because that's very big.
Yeah.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah, it was a big deal. Basically, I was after I beat Patrick Becker. We had a great fight. That was like
If you could talk about that fight.
Talk
a
about
little
that
bit, too.
fight. I was gonna
Yeah,
tell
that
you.
fight was wild. So it was at
big
OC
guy.
Fight Club. It was like sold out and sold so many tickets for that fight. We had the event outside, and I was a co-main event, and we like stole the show. But you know, fought him. We just had good fight back and forth. Actually, it wasn't back and forth. I dominated him. You know, he can say what he wants, but everybody saw the fight. You know,
Video speaks for
yeah,
itself.
video speaks for itself. He landed like one punch in the second round that like rocked me for a bit, but I bounced back from it. So had that fight. He's a very tough opponent, very seasoned guy. He's been fighting for a while, even though that was like I think that was either his pro debut or something. But he's been fighting for like years, and he won the worlds in jiu-jitsu. So I won that fight, and then a few months later, LFA had their show in California, and they got the call, and I fought this guy Tyson Miller, very tough fighter, really really good, tough guy. Had a crazy weight cut for that fight.
So teach me a little bit more about the LFA, and then I was wondering, UFC Fight Pass televises it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you had UFC shorts on too.
Yeah.
So explain can you explain like that league for a little bit?
100%.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I had the UFC shorts on because some of the idiots online would be talking shit like, "Oh, you're not in the UFC. Why are you wearing UFC shorts?" First off, if you want to go somewhere in life, you have to see yourself. So for myself, I'm like, I'm gonna put the UFC shorts on because I'm gonna be a UFC fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Manifesting.
And I like the shorts as well. They just feel good. So I threw those on. People were talking shit. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But basically, LFA is like the feeder league to UFC. So you see like Alex Pereira came from LFA.
Oh, wow.
Sean O'Malley came from LFA. Basically, a lot of top fighters right now in the UFC, they mostly came from LFA. A lot
I'll
of
go
them
like
did.
LFA to Contender Series or
LFA Contender Series UFC or LFA UFC. LFA is UFC. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting the same guys. So and the guy Ed Soros, he's the CEO of LFA. He's managed like a lot of great fighters. He managed Alex Pereira, Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, like big names.
Brazilian kickboxers.
Yeah, Brazilian kickboxers. The dude I fought last, he was a big time Brazilian kickboxer. He had like a lot of fights, really good fighter. So there's no easy fights in LFA. It's a very tough organization, but it's just like a proving ground, And the fights are always great in there. Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I really need to know. I saw you on Instagram with David Goggins. And you said, we just went on a run with him. Dude, that's not no normal run, I bet. What did you guys do?
It was a regular run, just 5 miles. Because that day he was doing he did
5 miles with boats in your
5
hands?
miles. No, just regular 5 miles. He was doing like 5 miles every he was doing 5 miles basically for 48 hours.
What?
Like nonstop. Like 5 miles, I think he'd like rest 30 minutes and then 5 miles. Something crazy like that.
It's just a Goggins
something
stat.
like that. I don't remember exactly.
So he was doing his David Goggins stuff.
Yeah.
You happen to run into him?
Yeah, basically like
Just normal
my
dude
guy Ryan hit me up and he's like, "Hey, you want to meet Goggins? Like, pull up, we'll do 5 miles." So I pulled up 5 miles, talked to him for a bit, and he loves fighters. He loves stuff like that. And he's a real dude, just a good guy. And actually, like I was saying, my LFA fight with Tyson Miller, that was the last time I fought at 170. When I was cutting weight for that fight, I got to a point where I think I was at like 180 or something like that. And the weight stopped coming off. And it was like an hour left. And there's like, all right, there's no way I'm going to make weight. You know what I'm saying? There's an hour.
What did you need to
left.
make?
170.
180.
It was at 180 and I had an
Oh my
hour
God,
left.
dude.
And I had to drive to LA. That's an hour. You know? So, yeah. So it was like, I was like, all right, fuck, I have to do it. So I just put on David Goggins and I just hopped in the tub. And I was just sitting in there, just listening to David Goggins, just zoning in. Hopped in the tub, hopped out, wrapped myself, went back in the tub, just back and forth, back and forth. By the time I was like, all right, I have to fucking go because I'm gonna be super, super late. I'm already late. So I hopped in the car. I was weighing like 170.
Were you driving?
Yeah, I was driving. Yeah, bro, I was so zoned in. I was in a different mindset. I was in a way different mindset.
Dropped
I was
10 pounds in 10 minutes.
I wrapped myself. I was like in a trash bag or something. I put the blasted the heat. I like put all this stuff on.
Oh my
And then I was like
God.
driving. I still had like 7 pounds to lose. And I was just listening to David Goggins. And when I got to the Commerce, I had like made weight.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
bro, it was
actually
crazy.
insane.
7 pounds in an hour drive, dude.
100%.
Oh my God.
Your body starts doing weird shit. If you have to do it and you're like, nah, I have to do it, but you don't know how you're going to do it, your body will make it happen. You know, but yeah, that took a toll on my body though. For
Yeah,
real.
I'm sure.
I had,
I'm gonna
like,
try that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Kobe needs to lose 10.
That's crazy. Hey guys, yes, I'm on a private jet, and none of this would be possible without our sponsor, Zill Media. If you need any social media or any content done, or even start a podcast like ours, they are the best in the business. Go to zillmedia.com and mention Basement Talk for a discount on their services. Now let's get back to the episode.
Let's get off this fake jet. Go get back to the episode.
Tell us about your fight camp right now.
Yeah, fight camp right now. I mean, yeah, it's just hard work every single day. I'm trying to get like superhuman strong. That's what I tell myself every day, superhuman strength. And then, you know, just really dialing in on technique, dialing in on my striking. You know, just soaking in as much knowledge as Master Rafael Cordero shows every single day. Watching a bunch of fights, just like trying to be creative with how I approach my fighting in the fight game. And, you know, staying motivated, staying inspired, like every single day, like watching Rocky movies. Right now, my whole fight camp is just Rocky playlist on repeat. You know what I'm saying? Every single day. Like I'm doing bag work every day. I'm just doing everything every day. I'm just doing as much as I possibly can every single day. And that's my fight camp. You know, a lot of jiu-jitsu, you know.
Even after this, you're gonna go train, dude. How many
definitely
hours do you
can.
sleep every day?
I'm trying to sleep 8 now, but usually I sleep like 5.
Damn,
But I recently found out like, all right, no, it is real. Like if you sleep 8 hours, you do better. So
you feel a little better.
like on sparring days, I make sure I get 8 hours of sleep. You know, but 8 hours to let my body recover. I did that last fight camp and I saw a huge like difference. So, you know, 8 to 9 hours, you know, at least like 2-3 times a week, you know.
How detailed is your game plan for your opponent? Are you like setting up the whole fight with your coaches? Like we're going to do this round, this the second round, this the third round? Or is it like bullet points of like, this is what we're going to do if he does this, is what I'm going to do if he does that?
I used to do it like that. Like, all right, we're going to do this, do that, do this. But now it's just like, nah, I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm just going to follow. I'm just going to do what I'm good at. You know, like, I know what I'm good at because like, for example, whenever you spar, like you don't really, like you just kind of show up and people are there and you just do your game and you're good. Like my last couple fights, I really tried to study my guys like heavily and see what they do and all that stuff. And then when you're in the fight, it's like, oh, okay, that's what he does right there. It's right there. And then you're too busy, at least for myself, you're too busy like thinking about it, watching it, where fighting is about instincts, you know? So for myself, I'm watching what the guy does a little bit, but not really that much, you know?
Who is this next guy?
Yeah, tell us about
his
this
name's
guy.
Blair Shannon. He's a tough guy, good guy. You know, I have no issues with him. He's a military guy, hardworking guy. You know, I think he has some holes on the ground, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, it could mean because it's a fight. You know, you never know. So I just got to be well-rounded and do everything I can and just be as good as I possibly can and go in there and execute the game plan.
What's his record?
He thinks he's 1-1. Okay. Yeah, he lost his last fight by submission.
Has he been respectful throughout?
Yeah,
process?
I saw him at the media day. I was like, hey, what's up? You know, he's like, what's up? You know, I was like, hey, let's have a good fight. Shook his hand. You know, no issues.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good guy, cool guy. You know,
is it harder to get into like fight mode when it is like more respectful like that? Or?
Nah, it doesn't matter to me. We can disrespect each other or we can be cool because like I fought all my best friends. You know what I'm saying? Like I fought you know, like I could hate we get hate each other and fight each other 1 second and then be cool next. It's just a fight.
Like
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just a fight.
We do that all the time.
Yeah, we do it the whole time. So it's like, you know, my training partners, we could fight each other like we hate each other, you know, no problem. But it's like, oh, good fight. You know, I like the fight. So it doesn't really matter to me. Like, we could talk some shit, yeah, and sell some tickets. You know, I like that too. But it doesn't really matter to me, like, either way, you know.
You think you can take Bradley Martin?
Bradley Martin? Yeah, I would choke him out in a heartbeat. Like,
he's 260.
Those social media guys are getting crazy. Talking about shit talkers too. I saw you had Dylan Dennis up on your page.
Yeah, Dylan Dennis. I would love the fight.
I fuck with Dylan Dennis.
These two are Dylan
dude.
Dennis supporters because they got the Armenian blood.
I like him.
Yeah, I got no issue. I fuck with Dylan Dennis. I think I used to get annoyed with him because he's like, you know, he's just,
I get annoyed by him too.
He's just
Why?
talking so much shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I get what he's doing, but it's just an easy fight for me. You know what I'm saying? I want that fight because it's like an easy fight. You know what I'm saying? But he only takes like
he's ducking you.
He fights once every 5 years.
Yeah, once every 5 years. He's not really trying to fight for real, you know. So it probably would never happen unless unless I get some really big wins or some shit. But
you never know, man.
Fight.
You
Yeah,
think-
I think there's
I-
one thing you could say to
That's
Dylan right
realistic.
now. What would you say?
quit ducking me.
Quit ducking,
What?
bro.
I think that's pretty realistic, though. I think LFA might sign him.
Nah, he would never
No?
fight in LFA.
You don't think? Do you think UFC would sign him?
No, I don't think Dana
I mean,
would.
why would he fight? Well, I don't think Dana would sign him because number one, he would only fight unless he's making a crazy amount of money, right? And the UFC is not going to sign him to make for crazy amounts of money, probably just because all the antics he does. Like he just fought Logan Paul, he probably made like a good amount from that. So it just doesn't really make sense for him to fight in LFA. Doesn't make sense either because why would he go to LFA? Look, here's the thing: if he was like a real competitor and he's like, yeah, I really, really want to do this, then yeah, it would make sense. But I don't think that's the case.
Incentivized
Yeah,
with money.
he's more so like I think he just more so wants to fight for clout,
Yeah.
and like the attention and stuff like that. You know,
I was gonna say, okay, let's say jiu-jitsu only though. Who do you think wins that?
yeah, jiu-jitsu only. I think I could beat him. Yeah, 100%. Like I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Like straight up, I go with like all the top level jiu-jitsu guys.
Could you roll with
Like,
Gordon Ryan?
With Gordon Ryan, I mean, we're the same size. Like it's all the same. Like we're black belts. Yeah, I roll with Gordon Ryan, no problem. I roll with anybody. Like I've rolled with all the top guys. I've never rolled with Gordon. I've met him like a few times, but we never trained. I mean, we're around the same size, so he's we're around the same size. Yeah, I'd roll with him, no problem.
What do you think? I know there's like a, I think it was Aljamain Sterling is getting like a lot of backlash. I don't know if you saw him at that
For what?
jiu-jitsu tournament. He was, and I don't know all the technicalities of jiu-jitsu, but he was in a match and the guy that he was against was on his back the whole time, just doing like the leg thing where he's like trying to trap him, no takedowns or anything. What do
Kobe does that.
What do you think about that? And do you think that that's like cheap for jiu-jitsu guys to do it?
Yeah, no, it's dumb because it's messing up the sport. It's making it like super pussified. Like it's one thing.
Pussified.
Well, they're starting on their back. They're not
it's
like
you're
grappling or anything.
You're
to
just
get to
pulling.
the
You're
ground.
just sitting to your butt. You know. The problem is like jiu-jitsu it's a martial art, so it's a fight sport. You know, like we need to be able to fight. You can't do it in a street fight. So like you should like my coach. The way we learned was like, no, you have to be able to take somebody down. You have to be able to throw punches. You have to be able to throw kicks. There's nothing wrong with pulling guard, but if you pull guard, you should be like penalized for that because it's like you're kind of you're like saying that you don't want the smoke on the feet, you know. So it's like, all right, you pull guard, but you should get like a negative
Deducted
point,
or something like
so
that.
it's like you can't just sit to your butt and then just sit there and just like one.
And Aljamain lost that match, right?
It's stupid.
That shit was crazy.
especially in a fight because it's like, okay, you pull guard, he's just gonna punch you.
Well,
know
and
I'm
what
saying?
fight starts on their back?
Yeah, no, it's just dumb. It's super dumb. You know, it's like
Could you imagine street fight? You just get on your back right away.
Yeah,
Dude.
Well, it's like what Dylan Dennis did in that boxing match.
Yeah,
like,
same thing,
Which is like,
dropping on
it's clown shit. You know,
Well,
it's like
in a real fight, you get stomped on. if you
in a
did
real
that shit.
fight, exactly. So it's like, and it actually is an issue. It's like that's why like some people won't watch jujitsu because it's like it's just like people are sitting down to their butt. Like, you know, I understand what's going on because I've lived this, but it's just if it would be better if everybody did takedowns, and it would be better for everybody because more fighters will come from jiu-jitsu because
100%.
they know how to take people down. Like if you transition from jiu-jitsu to MMA, a lot of guys they can't take people down. So it's kind of like if you can't take someone down, then you're kind of screwed. You
disadvantage,
know what I'm saying? Like what are you gonna
100%.
do? Like you probably don't have great striking, you know. So it's like you need to be able to have it all, you know. Like you need to be able to strike, you need to be able to do it all, even if you're just a jiu-jitsu guy. Like because we're doing this. You get into jiu-jitsu, probably you're a kid getting bullied, whatever. You wanted to be able to defend yourself against bullies. So you're not gonna pull guard on a bully. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
100%.
No, you're gonna beat his ass. You're gonna put him in a guillotine. You're gonna take him down. You're gonna slam him down. That's what I like. You know, that's my
I like
style.
it too.
Yeah.
I was watching Gordon Ryan and Dylan Dennis
Yeah.
roll, and it was the same thing. It's like, Gordon, get up, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're just making a boring match. It's supposed to be exciting.
But it's like chess at that point. You know, at that point, it's just like, you know, Gordon Ryan could do takedowns. He knows how to grapple, but he's gonna pull guard. He's gonna do all this just because
It's smarter
like,
against
It's
Dylan.
just smart. It's just the way the rules are set up. They need to change it. You know.
Yeah.
Who do you think your fighting style is similar to in the UFC right now?
Similar to, I feel like nobody. Yeah, nobody. I mean, I study John Jones a lot. I study GSP a lot. You know, I study Francis Ngannou a lot. But yeah, I would say I'm just a combination of, you know, I'll just see random fights and I'll be like, oh, okay, I see what the guy did there. It's very interesting, and I'll just like add that into my game. But I don't really fight like anybody. I would say, you know, I fight like myself, and moves that work for me probably won't work for other people. You know, so you know, different combos that work, I'll take that specific combo and I'll mix it into my skill set. You know. And that's kind of how I do it, you know.
It's very much like John and
what's
GSP
what's
too,
your
where it's like
celebration?
balanced.
What's your celebration gonna be when you win your next fight?
Celebration.
And when they hold up.
And how do you predict the
arm?
fight going exactly?
I predict it probably either first round rear naked choke or decision, you know, just dominating decision wise, or a knockout. Me knocking him out possibly, because I mean I have like, you know, I'm actually glad that I lost those two fights because people don't know, like they're like, oh, his striking is trash. Now I have good striking, you know what I'm saying? I've been striking for a minute, like I just haven't really showed it in my fights. And then those two fights, you know, to be honest, if you've seen the fights, the refs stopped the fight very quickly. The one with Tyson Miller, I cut so much weight before I was going out to the fight, I had like a crazy headache. No excuses, like Tyson Miller's a beast, but before I went out to a fight, I was like, damn, I have to like finish this fight quickly because
Not
if
at
I
your
get
best,
hit,
yeah.
like if I get hit, I'm probably gonna get rocked because it was like I was so dehydrated and drained. But that's my fault for cutting that much weight. You know, and you know he landed the punch and went down, but however, I wasn't knocked out. You know what I'm saying? It was a good punch. The ref stopped the fight too quickly, and if you pay attention, it was the same referee in both of those fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then the other fight with Luis Franciscanelli, he's a great fighter. He's a great kickboxer, really good guy, solid guy, 6'8", you know, fucking strong guy. But still, you know what I'm saying? The punch that he landed, they shouldn't have stopped the fight from that. It was just like he landed the punch, and then they stopped the fight. You know. I was fine, and I was blocking, I was aware. You see, when I fought Patrick Becker, like I got dropped in the second round, you know, but I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let it keep going. Like this is how I am. This is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like if I get dropped, it's not the end of the fight. You know, like I'll block everything, and then I'll figure out what's going on, and I'll come out. But I'm glad that the fights went that way because it just made me more humble, and it really, really showed me like, yeah, I really, really want this, because it's like, all right, what if you lose, if you lose 8 fights in a row, then what? Or you're gonna be like, oh, I suck now, I'm trash now. Like, no, I know how good I am, regardless of if I win or lose. It's not gonna stop me. It's not gonna deter me from working hard and trying to improve myself. People might talk shit online and say this and say that, but I don't really care about none of that. So I'm glad that it happened because when I was like starting out, I was like, damn, I hope I never lose a few in a row. One of my teammates, Benil Dariush, at one point early in his career, he got knocked out like maybe 2-3 times in a row. And he bounced back from that and then went on a crazy run,
Crazy.
So it was like, it can happen, and it's just about how bad you want it and how much you're willing to improve. Like those holes in my game, how I got caught, I've improved them. I've really tried so many different things to close those holes in my game. And that's why I'm going up in a different weight class and all this different stuff. But I see the fight going decision, like 3-round decision. I see it going rear naked choke submission, or maybe some type of arm lock. Or I see it also going knockout, me knocking him out with a punch.
And the celebration.
Celebration.
Sorry, I cut Kobe off.
Celebration. I'm not even gonna celebrate. I'm just gonna go back home, chill out. I'm gonna laugh at the people who were like counting me out and shit, and then I'm gonna get back.
Post
right
that
to the
shit
next
on
one.
social media.
Do you watch your like? If you knock them out, how quickly do you watch your knockout after? Like in the locker room, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I like usually. Well, it depends. Like
You see it on TV later.
yeah, I'll watch the fights
Yeah.
over and over and over because
Okay.
I want to like see what I was doing and see what I was getting caught with, and just like kind of just see it and really study it. But yeah, I watch like all my fights, losses, everything. I watched them like a million times over and over and over again. But yeah, as far as celebrating goes, I'm probably not gonna celebrate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna get right
happy with
back
the
to
win.
it. Yeah, be happy with the win.
Start the streak.
Yeah, just get right back to
Yeah.
it. I'm not gonna
Go get in
something
and
that
out
happens.
after or something.
What'd you say?
Go get in and out after.
get
or
a
something.
In and out?
Something
Nah, I'm
after?
done with In and Out. Yeah.
What? You don't like In-N-Out?
Yeah, because I was eating In and Out every day at one point.
Oh,
And
someone,
yeah, bro,
put
I
someone put a
gained,
hair
like-
in your fries, bro.
Where I gained like 30 pounds.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was eating there every day at one point.
Dude, I did the same. I worked at In-N-Out for like 2.5 years, and I had a free burger every single day. I didn't gain any weight, man.
Oh man, I was going 2 burgers every time I go. 2 burgers, large milkshake, fries, and yeah, I gained like
Animal?
Yeah. Oh no, just regular. Yeah, I was gaining so much weight. I gained some fat. I gained some muscle as well. But yeah, In and Out. I'll probably get like once a week. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. But it's something that happens like when you're fighting, like when you win. It's very easy to get off of the path almost because it's like, oh shit, you won, like you're partying and shit. But and you lose, it's very different. But it's just better to be like, if you win, it's not a big deal. If you lose, it's not a big deal. You just go right back to the board and you just try to stick to your path and your plan, whatever your goals are. That's what I found.
That's a great mindset, and I think for like, especially like a fighter your age, it's super cool. But when you look at somebody like Tony Ferguson, who's like end of his career, like I still got this.
Nah, he's got it, bro.
How does that make you feel, and what do you think?
I mean, I get it. I understand it because he's fighting to prove something to himself. Also, he's probably making pretty good money fighting. Yeah. But I don't think he's fighting for the money. I think it's more so that he's like, nah, I know how good because all those fights, it wasn't like he's just getting like just destroyed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's like in there, but it just so happens he's just like, there's just a little something he needs to tweak and he can win some fights. But I think it's more of like he's like, he just needs to prove something to himself and win one more time and to retire. Or he just likes fighting. There's something that a lot of fighters just genuinely like fighting because there's nothing else like it. Once you go back to the regular world and you're used to, it's kind of like being a war vet. You're just at war, like going crazy, right? And now you're back in regular world and you're kind of addicted to this like like fight or flight
Training
type
every
of,
day, like working
training.
towards
Chaos.
something.
You're
violent.
addicted to the chaos. Like, so life is just boring, and then you just feel something's missing. So someone like Tony Ferguson, I understand why he would keep coming back.
Wants to
BJ
keep-
Penn, same thing. He kept coming back, and then he would like get into street fights afterwards. You
Chuck.
know, so
Yeah,
Chuck
Chuck
came
too.
back.
Shab?
Chuck.
Chuck? Oh yeah, Chuck.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
And it's like some people are like, oh, why is this guy coming back? Like, what? It's over with. Like, keep
It's his
what
life.
are you doing? But it's like, no, this is all he knows. You
Yeah.
know, like this is what he loves. Like, what else is he gonna do? Where's he gonna get that juice from? If, for me personally, if I wasn't fighting, I get the juice from like painting.
Yeah.
You know, which that's not really. It doesn't make sense. But like, I would do shit like, all right, I'm diving into this painting.
The same type of fulfillment probably from it.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm diving in this painting. I want to portray a certain feeling in this thing. I'm gonna have an art show. So now I have like something. I have purpose. Fighting gives you a purpose because like you're like, all right, I have to be my very best. This motherfucker's gonna kill me in you know how on this date he's gonna try to kill me. I'm have to be my best. So everything just like you just dive all into it, and then all your problems, whatever, you're not even thinking about them. You're just like thinking about the goal and the task at hand, and then you have that you win, you lose, whatever, and then the mission is complete. So I get why guys keep coming back, over and over and over again.
That's
What do you
awesome.
think, guys?
Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
it
this
was a
is so
pleasure.
awesome, bro.
You want to tell all our subscribers, tell all the viewers where to buy tickets.
Oh yeah. You can buy tickets at go to my Instagram at Emmanueli Adzoh, and you can just click the link in my bio.
Link will be in the description as
Yeah,
well.
I'll put the link in the description.
Whenever you buy tickets, click my name, Emmanueli Adzoh, so they know who you came to see. And yeah, or you can just message me. I have tickets in person too. The fight's gonna be at February 24th at the Commerce Casino in LA for Up Next Fighting.
You guys
Come
will
check
see
it out.
that.
Watch him smash
Follow
some
my
heads.
boy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, yeah,
it's a
appreciate it.
pleasure.
Yeah, my man.
Kyler, Zach. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Watch his fight. If you can't go to it in person, watch it. It's going to be on TV, YouTube, everything. You guys will see it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Peace.
See ya. All right, dude.
Thank you.
Dude, he's going. I saw you go for the dap up. I was like, damn, Kobe didn't see it.
Oh, I didn't see it, bro.
No, you didn't get your hand out yet, but like,
It's all good.
Fuck.
Jay with a baby, I am what he made me. No, you cannot shame me, so it's for the birds. Buy full price, you ain't know what it's worth. He not letting go like it's grandmama purse.